Okay, so it was all the way back in July, the 22nd of July exactly, that I did a video with Daddario, who kind of reached out to me and said, would you be up for doing some videos with us? And I kind of said, as it happens, I already used Daddario strings, so this is a sponsored video by Daddario, but there wasn't really too much in the way of strings attached. They kind of just said, you know, we'd like to hear you talk, like, honestly about your experience with some of this stuff.
This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses.
So I've had this guitar strung up with the XS coated strings, which I had never tried before up until this video. And basically this guitar lives in the gig bag when I'm not gigging it, which is, you know, often. So 22nd of July, I'll actually total up how many gigs I've done with this. If I'm not actually using this guitar on the gig, it would at least be a backup. The reason I thought this would be a good test was because I don't play it other than at gigs, so it basically means that the strings sit in my case unused for a long time, and that's for me when I find that my strings corrode the most, is when I'm not playing a guitar, whereas the guitars that I play every day don't tend to corrode. So reporting back, there's not really any corrosion. There's like a little bit of dirt, but that was, I mean, I guess you'd expect that, right? But what's coming off is not rust, which would be, I expect, what would be coming off if I was using normal strings. Obviously, none of the strings have broken, which is a definite good thing. The only thing that I would say is, if you're someone who's totally addicted to that bright, jangly new string sound, then that is the one area that maybe with these strings you don't quite get there. So they're a little bit more consistent in terms of, like, you're not going to have that totally really bright new string and then a totally dull old string. It's kind of, you get a bit of a flatter kind of. So when I look down at them as well, they've not got that kind of appearance that you get with a really old string, or, you know, 3 months in is a fair amount of use, I think. Let me know what you think like your typical string life would be, but for me, I was kind of hoping that it would stay kind of fresh, and that has been actually the experience. You know, it's kind of not feeling like a string that is corroded at all, which I guess is the whole point of this, right? First is I'll get my other guitar out. It's kind of got that nails on a chalkboard thing where you put your finger across and there's comparatively like a lot more corrosion, and the string starts to sort of get, particularly around here, like this more kind of blackened state. And I don't think these are particularly old strings either, but you like have to wipe them down and that sort of thing, otherwise you do get underneath build up of residue and rusty stuff. Sometimes it can be a bit of a nasty surprise as well, if you've not played the guitar in a while and then you pick it up and you're just like, oh, these strings are cooked. I also gave a couple of sets to my buddy Jake Loosemore, who went on a tour with Toby Lee and did like 4 shows, and then he came back and did another couple of shows, you know, a week apart. So we had like those 4 dates, then there was a week off, then we did another 2 shows, one in Lyme Regis and then a wedding. And he said those strings have lasted that entire time. Normally, because he's got quite corrosive sweat, because he's a young guy, he would have to change after 1 or 2 shows, and that's lasted him, you know, at least 6 shows and 2 weeks. So he was really pleased with that. I think he normally uses elixirs, and I think he even said that he prefers the Daddario XS's slightly, so that's kind of cool to hear. But yeah, so that's someone who's a bit different to me in that I don't tend to corrode the strings unless I stop playing the guitar and put it away for a long time. However, that's kind of one of the things where, because I've got quite a few guitars, then maybe for me it would make sense that each time I do a guitar string change, which might not be more than like once a year, to put on a better set of strings that is not going to corrode and that is not going to get the kind of nasty build up of rust and stuff underneath, and that is going to maybe last, you know, that full time with that new string kind of feeling. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Have you tried coated strings? Did you like them? Did you not like them? That's kind of just my experience with them. As I say, these went on the 22nd of July, and it's now the end of October, and they're still going strong. They still look good. Cheers to Daddario. I've got a few more videos lined up with them actually. I'm really excited about it because, as I say, these are the picks, these are the strings that I use anyway. So it's just really nice to be working with a company that kind of gets the rubbish that I do. And yeah, it's cool really. Cheers, Daddario.